Aloysia grabbed Constanza by her shoulders and stole her away to an empty and isolated corner of the room. Their faces close, and Constanza was mildly terrified that Aloysia was going to hit her. But instead, Aloysia grasped the shoulder of her younger sister's dress and she ripped it harshly. Tearing at her hair and the bodice of her dress, she tore away at the beautiful scrap fabric that Sophia had saved for Constanza to make the dress in the first place, and with each rip and shredding and destruction of the fabric, Constanza felt herself hot with tears. At the same time this was occurring, a little ways away from the scene of Aloysia tearing apart Constanza's darling dress, a young man, dashing in appearance, wearing a red coat with gold buttons, adorned in a white powdered wig and bearing the sweetest blue eyes you'd ever seen, though he himself would not say he was handsome, was sipping on some wine to help his cause. Herr Mozart had stuck to the wall for the majority of the whole affair. He was awkward and didn't know anyone. Not to mention he was sickly. The poor man sniffled. He'd been feeling rather unwell all night and had declined to play the piano tonight for any guests about the ball.
Lord have mercy. Is that the prodigy of Salzburg? Truly, standing before me. Goodness. Could this be my chance to make headway? Ninny, nay. Calm your nerves, Anna. Approach him with poise and grace. Smile. Compliment his rondo or his violin concerto number 5. Yes, yes. And most importantly, curtsy like Mama has taught you. Offer your hand, ask him for a dance, and make a bloody connection.
Lost in his thoughts, and favouring his obviously stuffed-up nose, which was growing pinker from the cold, he felt a touch dizzy with a mild fever, and opted to lay down upon the soft, ivory cream-coloured sofa near the wall, when he was approached by an eager young lady of soft blonde curls and a pretty dress, asking for his hand to dance.
Good evening, Herr Mozart. May I ask if you might give me the honour of a waltz?
What?
The poor man shuddered, however, swiftly falling into an unexpectedly harsh and uncomfortable sneezing fit, which, upon recovery and the ungraceful wiping of against his poor sleeve, instantly ruined his chances with the lady, which embarrassed him deeply.
Fiddlesticks, what is wrong with you? I say, do you have an ounce of decorum? Law, and you're the wonder of Europe? Hardly a wonder, I should say. You're naught but a top-top, snot-nosed ragamuffin. You disgust me.
Pardon me, I...
He stuttered, blushing, and unable to recover socially. The lady turned away in utter disgrace, turning her nose up at him and huffing loudly as she pouted in the most unladylike of manners.
And nothing to say either. How unsightly.
The disgruntled lady muttered, leaving the poor man alone. Mozart sniffled his poor red nose into his handkerchief, turned away on his boot heel rather quickly, and anxiously tugging at his cravat, he began to seek anywhere he might hide from the social blunder he'd just committed.
Oh no. Oh dear. I've made a muck of things. I need somewhere to hide.
He stamped his foot upon the floor and sniffled again, rather flustered. He was feeling quite awkward in the middle of the hall. People were dancing or gossiping too loud. His discomfort grew. The whole of the hall seemed to sway as if he were in a raging sea. As Wolfgang bolted towards the stairs ahead of him, he was stumbling past the very room where Aloysia Weber was departing her younger sister's distress. At the same time, the gangly young Mozart was arriving.
Floppy wobbles. Damn this wretched cold.
In a panic, Wolfgang nearly ran headfirst into Aloysia, just barely missing her as she leapt back towards the corner of the room she had left. He ducked around her, his footing fumbling, his poor nose dripping with snot, and as he bolted away, fast as his poor legs would carry him, he was loudly apologising, over and over, as he scurried like a mouse towards the stairs and disappeared, leaving Aloysia to shake her head and roll her eyes as she left Constanza against the darkness of the alcove wall.